What's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation expert, money mindset and fulfillment coach, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur. Come sit with me while I spill the real tea on what it's like to practice using intentional manifestation, demystify all of the woo-woo and confusing bullshit that comes along with creating the life of your dreams, and give you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, spiritual, and professional growth journey. The goal of this podcast is to support and guide you towards manifesting all of your dreams, shed light on the things that people are too scared to talk about, and encourage you to become the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. I am so happy you are here. Let's fucking do this thing. What's up, loves? Welcome back to another episode of the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. So one of the biggest questions that I have been asked since starting my intentional manifestation journey and putting all of this good stuff out there for all of you is, what do I actually do on a daily basis to ensure that I'm going to manifest the things that I desire into my life? And if you listen to the podcast, you probably know at this point that I have some very unconventional beliefs and behaviors when it comes to the way that I go about things and the way that I've generated wealth and abundance and happiness and fulfillment and whatnot into my life. And this approach is also going to take that. It's a very unconventional approach to what you are traditionally taught when it comes to manifestation. And what I mean by that is like the manifestation methods, the journal prompts, the meditations, like all of the different quote unquote action steps or things that you have to quote unquote do in order to manifest the things that you desire into your life. And to be completely honest, I do not do any of those things. And while, yes, they've had a time, a place, and a season in my life, what actually has become the greatest manifestation tool for me now is a state of being, not a state of doing. And this is something that I think is overseen and overlooked in the manifestation process so much because it doesn't make logical or practical sense. So what essentially I mean by this is that there is a big difference between doing and being. And I do not do on a daily basis in order to manifest what I desire into my life. I be on a daily basis to manifest things into my life. And the difference between doing and being is that doing is always going to be based around external actions and internal actions, but like actions that you can take in order to move the needle forward to get you closer to whatever your specific goal or intention or manifestation is. Whereas being is an embodied experience. It is physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically being in alignment with whatever it is that you are manifesting into your life and really allowing it to be a full embodied state with your words, actions, emotions, behaviors, etc. because of that. So to break this down even more, what I want to say about this is that like in our world, and especially now in the world of personal development, there is a lot out there in terms of like to-do lists. There's like the miracle morning. There is like if you do X, Y, and Z, if you put all of these tasks in the right order, if you follow this plan, if you check these different boxes, whatever the scenario may be, whatever the lineup may be of how somebody's presenting something, essentially that is still like if you do this thing. If you do these specific things, then you can have the thing. Then you can manifest what you desire into your life. And while those things are incredibly effective, I am not dismissing them whatsoever. The reality is that like you can't quote unquote do your way into becoming the highest version of yourself, and you can't quote unquote do your way into becoming the vibrational match for your manifestations. So what do I mean by this? What I mean by this is that there's essentially no to-do list that will give you the perfect formula to manifest everything that you desire into your life. I actually had this question from one of the gals inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy the other day, where she brought to the table the fact that she was feeling really frustrated and feeling fairly scarce inside of her finances, and wanted to understand how she could feel that feeling of abundance inside of herself, how she could embody the abundance so that she could become the vibrational match for it. And in asking for my support, she was like, okay, well, what can I do to feel that abundance? And we sat there for a moment, and she was like, I get my nails done. I ask for support in these kinds of ways. Like, I'm doing the things in order to feel abundant, but it's not shifting things inside of my finances. And so I asked her to close her eyes down and ask herself, like, what does abundance feel like inside of her body? And for all of you listening right now, it's like, really allow yourself to follow along with this and come along with me as I guide you through this. Is like, what does abundance feel like inside of your body? If you were to receive the money that you desire, if you were to be so successful in the thing that it is that you're doing in your life, the business, the acting career, the modeling career, the photography, whatever it may be that you are pursuing, how would it feel to be so abundant in that, so fulfilled, so successful? What would you feel inside of your body if the money had already shown up, if the partner was already here, if whatever it is that you are manifesting had already manifested into your life? What would that feel like inside of your body? And so we got to that place, and the reality is there's no amount of doing and action tasks and pushing and hustling that is going to make you feel that level of abundance inside of yourself if you are not already being that abundance, if you are not already cultivating that energy of abundance inside of yourself here and now. And that is what I mean when it comes to the difference between doing and being. When you are being the embodiment of your manifestations, you are actually carrying the feeling of those manifestations with you on a daily basis. You are holding onto and fully believing in the fact that every action that you take, every conversation that you have, every emotion that you experience, every single fucking thing that you experience in your life is guiding you and leading you closer to your manifestations. That even and especially when it may not make logical or practical sense to you, that you are still being guided, you are still being supported, you are still being led towards all of the things that you desire in your life, and that there doesn't have to be this endless doing in order to receive that manifestation. Because when you're in a constant state of doing, when you feel as though you have to constantly be preparing or doing the inner work or focusing on your mindset or taking the action or whatever it may be, you're not actually allowing yourself any sort of space. And we need that space in order for you to actually receive whatever it is that you're trying to manifest into your life. When you are just go, do constantly because you think that that's what you have to do in order to receive your manifestations, you are leaving no space for yourself to be open and receptive to what the universe is trying to bring your way. And there are so many examples of this in my own life where I had been in such an autopiloted and like programmed state of doing, hustling, like working my fucking ass off to receive the things that I desired in my life. Because for me, I always thought that if I didn't behave in that kind of way, if I wasn't constantly doing, wasn't constantly trying to prove myself in some sort of way, then like I wouldn't get what I wanted. And I learned this during childhood, and this is something that I was really able to recognize doing the inner work, is that because I was overweight as a kid and constantly was like bullied for being the fat girl, I felt as though I had to go above and beyond. I had to show up so much greater and with so much more than anybody else in order to just be seen and validated in a way that felt supportive to me. And although I lost the weight since I was a kid, that little fat girl honestly like still lived on inside of me. And in full honesty and full transparency, like I still feel that energy and recognize that sometimes for myself of like the patterns and the behaviors that I felt like I had to embody on a daily basis in order to just receive like the bare minimum, carried on and played out into different areas in my life, which resulted in me showing up and again, doing, hustling, working my ass off in order to quote unquote prove something. And I think that we all experience this to a certain extent, and especially in America. I'm not quite sure about other countries, but from my own experience of growing up in America and then also working with so many women from the States is like we've been programmed and like hardwired into believing that the only way that we can get what we want out of life is by doing all the time. And like I've been mentioning, it's like that can lead you to the position where you are literally not leaving yourself any space to receive more. And again, while I am not saying that you don't need to quote unquote do anything in order to manifest the things that you desire into your life, it's more so recognizing the fact that like you don't constantly have to be doing something. There isn't like some missing puzzle piece that you're only going to put into play if you continue to do all of the time. Because the reality is like you probably have all of the puzzle pieces in front of you right now, but you're not giving yourself enough time and space to sit back and look at the puzzle pieces that you have right now to actually place them together, to actually start to build the foundation, build the frame of the puzzle, and then slowly but surely put all of the pieces together. In our world, we've been taught that it's like, okay, well, if one thing didn't work for you in such a short amount of time, then on to the next, figure out what else you may need to do in order to complete that puzzle. But again, you have all of the pieces, and when you are constantly doing and listening to tons and tons of podcasts or reading all of the self-development books or bouncing around from thing to thing to try and find the answer, then it's like you're not giving yourself the space that you need to look at the puzzle pieces that you have right now. So this is my invitation to all of you to look at the puzzle pieces that you have right now. What are the pieces that you feel as though you are missing? And can you allow yourself to actually sit back in the faith and the trust and the belief that you can be the version of yourself that is already complete right now? That there aren't those missing pieces, that they are actually there, and that maybe in the space of you allowing yourself the time and the energy to sit back and realize it, that you will actually be supported in whatever it is that you felt as though you were missing in the first place. So again, putting this into different words is like when you are, let's say, wanting to manifest a partner into your life, and you are constantly listening to podcasts on how to manifest your partner into your life. You're constantly journaling about the partner. You're constantly on the dating apps, whatever it may be. And you're taking the aligned action towards it, but then you're not allowing yourself the time or the space to lean back and allow yourself to get into your own embodied experience of the fact that the perfect person is there and they want to meet you in this experience. They want to meet you halfway. the universe is guiding you closer and closer to them, then you may be missing your person because you're constantly moving, doing, not allowing yourself a moment to stop and receive the person who could be walking next to you at Whole Foods or could be walking down the sidewalk or whatever it may be. So many different experiences and so many different places that you could be bumping into them. But when you're so in a state of what else do I need to do, then odds are you're probably going to miss it. Same with a lot of the times with like manifesting more money into your life. There's all of the different manifestation methods, all of the different journaling prompts, all of the different things out there that teach you, okay, if you want to manifest X amount of money, then you have to do this thing for this many days, or you have to say this affirmation or whatever it may be, all of the different things that are taught out there on the internet. And then if you're not actually allowing yourself the time and the space to sit back and be with your thoughts and be with what is present inside of yourself and embody the energy of abundance here and now, then there could be the most life-changing opportunity that presents itself to you, but you may miss it because you're not allowing yourself the time and space to actually slow down and listen to your intuition or take the intuitive pull to talk to this specific person or listen to that idea that pops up of whatever it is that you may want to create, whatever it may be for each of you, and it's going to be unique for each of you. What I am essentially getting at here is like, you have to give yourself space. You have to give yourself the time, the energy, the effort, and the space to slow down into what currently is while embodying the fact that best case scenario gets to be the inevitable for your life. That you do not constantly need to be checking something off of your to-do list in order to be worthy. That you do not constantly need to be doing something in order to move the needle forward to achieve whatever it is that you think that you need. That you do not constantly have to be in a state of efforting or showing up in some sort of way to manifest all of the things that you desire into your life. Because if that is what you believe, then that is what is going to manifest into your life. But that sounds like a lot of hard fucking work if you ask me. And this is why I choose to believe in the fact that me being an embodied state of whatever it is that I desire to manifest into my life will naturally lead me to the opportunities, to the people, to the experiences, to the inspired action, to the inspiration inside of myself that I then get to take in order to receive that manifestation. It's not about doing, it's about being. And really knowing that it's like, okay, yes, awesome. If you are on this personal development journey, if you are on your manifestation journey, it is incredible that you are putting yourself out there and you are learning the different things and gathering different resources. But the reality of that is that if you do not take all of those things that you are learning out of your head and bring them down into your body and allow yourself to be the embodied experience of what you are learning, then you're not going to manifest from your head. You're not going to manifest everything that you desire just from knowing these things. Just from understanding the energetics and the different components of manifestation, you are going to manifest that from being the embodiment of it. So take all of these different things that you've been learning, the different podcasts that you've been listening to, the different books that you've been reading, the different coaches you've been working with, the different courses you've taken, whatever it may be, and actually take the things that you have learned down from your head and into your body, because that is going to allow you to be the embodied state of your manifestations, which is actually going to be the thing that allows you to manifest so much more of what you want into your life than just constantly adding more and more and more onto your mental load, but then not doing anything about bringing that into your actual embodied state and into your actions on a daily basis. So all of this to say is that there is no secret code to manifestation other than you being the embodiment of what it is that you desire to manifest into your life. No amount of doing is going to lead you to your manifestations if you do not believe with every single ounce of your being that you get to have what you desire in your life with or without all of the crazy action that the world may teach you that you have to take. Because I know for me in my life, while yes, absolutely, am I a fan of taking action and am I a supporter of taking action? Abso-fucking-lutely. But the amount of energy and belief that has gone behind my actions is what has actually led me to my manifestations. It's not just been the act of doing them. Because I know in my life and also through the 200 plus women that I've coached that there's a big difference between somebody who takes action without belief in the fact that what they're doing is going to lead them closer to what they want and someone who allows themselves to operate from a place of belief and that every single action that they take, whether it be directly related to what they're wanting to manifest or not, has a ripple effect on what it is that they desire to call into their lives. And I think that that's the coolest fucking thing when it comes to manifestation, because you can overcomplicate it for yourself if you want to and make it this thing where you have to do X, Y, and Z in order to manifest what you want into your life, because again, what you believe is what you are going to manifest. But if you want it to be this easy, effortless thing that you just experience on a day-to-day basis, then it can be as simple as this as well, where you just believe in the fact that everything that you do is guiding you towards best case scenario, whether that be days that you sit the fuck back and you don't do anything and you don't feel guilty about it because you know that that action is necessary for you to receive your manifestations, or the days that you are out there, you are hustling, you are making it happen because that's what feels in alignment for you. It's all about learning how to tap into and tune into your inspiration and allowing that inspiration to guide you and lead you, whatever it may be leading you towards. Because that's the fun and the funky thing about inspiration, is that it doesn't always make logical or practical sense, but when you give yourself permission to listen to it, it is going to guide you towards your manifestations. So to wrap all of this up, there is nothing specific that I do on a daily basis to manifest the things that I desire into my life. I do not have strict routines. I do not have a exact play-by-play of exactly what you have to do in order to manifest the things that you desire into your life, because I have created such a firm belief in myself and in my life that everything that I do is guiding me to best case scenario in my life. And I've gotten so fucking good at allowing myself to listen to my inspiration without judgment and without hesitation, which has really put me in the position of having enough of that space to take the action and then sit back and observe what it is that action is creating ripple effects in. How my inspired action is not only affecting the thing that I just took action on, but also other aspects of my life, because everything is connected. And through all of that, by taking the inspired action when the inspiration is there, and then allowing myself the time and space to sit back and observe and stay in this embodied state, it brings me to my manifestations so much faster than anything in the past was, when I was constantly in a state of do, hustle in order to try and receive what I wanted in my life. Because that is the power of intentional manifestation, and that is the power of belief. That is the power of embodiment. That is the power of inspiration. So I hope that this episode made sense for all of you who are listening. And this is something that I know for me, I have been able to get to because of choosing to commit myself to the inner work and really uncovering my heart's desires and what I want at my core. And through doing the inner work, it's really uncovered like the power that I have inside of myself and has allowed me to step away from all of the doubt that used to cloud my perception and keep me in the position of thinking that I had to constantly be in that state of doing and constantly be in that state of hustle in order to receive what I want, and has really put me into this like truly effortless place of manifestation, because it's not about the doing, it's about the being, like I've said so many times on this podcast episode. But if this is something that you are wanting to become so effortless for you in your life, if you want manifestation to feel like it's just the most innate and intuitive thing that you've ever done, because it is the most innate and intuitive thing that we all do, then I highly suggest that you join the Abundant AF Babe Academy, because inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy, we go deep into uncovering all of these layers that have held you back from truly feeling as though you can just be the embodiment of your manifestation, and help you get to the place where it doesn't feel like manifestation is so hard and it's this task that you have to put all of this time and energy and effort into. It really just becomes your new natural state. So if you're curious to learn more about the Abundant AF Babe Academy, you can hit the link down below in the show notes and apply to that. And I couldn't and wouldn't be here today without the work that I teach inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy. So I cannot suggest it enough. And with all of that being said, that's all I have for you on this podcast episode. So until the next time, I'm sending you all of my love, and I'll chat with you on the next episode. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening to today's episode. I'm so grateful to have these no bullshit talks with you. If you enjoyed today's episode or the podcast as a whole, please spread the love by leaving me a review on iTunes or sharing the podcast with others. This is how I will be able to spread more of these good vibes and be able to make more of an impact on the lives of others. And if you're not already part of all of the goodness and communities that I have to offer, check out the show notes. I have links to the different ways that I can support you on your manifestation journey and help you live a life full of more money, fulfillment, and freedom. But that is all for now. So big love and hugs, and I will chat with you soon, babe.